Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Don't tell people your ideas and plans. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. When you're on a path to success, don't let anybody know that. Now I had a gentleman, he hit me up. He said, "Hey Rom, I got an idea for this invention." And I stopped him right there. He's a good guy. And I said, "Hey, yo, don't tell me anything about it." Because he just got the idea right there. I say, "Dude, don't write anything. Don't tell me or anyone else about the idea until you got it fleshed out and, it's ready to go." And when I say fleshed out, I mean you put it together, you developed it, you can get it manufactured, you got it trademarked, copywritten, whatever you need to do with it, right? You got the business plan in place. Don't. And the reason why, I'm going to tell you what, for several reasons you don't want to share ideas, right? One, well-meaning people have a way of poo-pooing your idea, because they can't see the vision. You'll be surprised how many people, because they can't see the same thing, and they might not even have expertise in the field. They'll say, "Oh, you can't do that," or "How you gonna make it happen?" Right? Because they don't. I remember when I said I was going to start writing, and this is something I've lived. I talked about this before, right? I remember when I told people I was going to write. I was going to be a writer, right? Now, nobody checked it. It was only a few people who said, "Hey, let me see what you got." In fact, I can count on like one hand how many people said, "Let me see what you got. See if you can actually write." Everybody else was like, "Well, how you going to make money that way?" Or "They don't make a lot of money." Or, "How you going to get stuff published?" And in fact, that last one, "How you going to get something published," came from a woman who worked in the publishing industry, right? Somebody I had dated. And I'm thinking about it, right? I'm like, wait a minute. This woman working in the publishing industry, instead of asking me how I can get it published, she should be saying, "Okay, well, this is what you need to do," right? This is somebody in the industry. Or if she didn't ask the main question, "Can you write?" But I learned a lot from that. And I've seen other people, they would have ideas or something, and, it would, other people would try to dissuade them. They don't believe in them and anything. In fact, you got a lot of people out there got ideas for, like, books, songs, inventions, and they might have mentioned something, and just because the other people they mentioned it to didn't have the vision, they didn't go through with it, right? And then sometimes another issue, sometimes if you put the idea out, just put it out, like tell somebody, right? Somebody else still might come up with it, right? Two stories with that. My mother had an idea for a game show, right? And this was early 60s. She had an idea for this game show. But she didn't copyright it or anything. And she sent the information to someplace in Hollywood, right? She sent the information to someplace in Hollywood. All of a sudden, she saw the game on TV. But she didn't have any proof or anything like that she created it, right? Now, here's the thing. Somebody else could have created it, right? Independent of her. See, understand, sometimes if you have an idea, somebody else has the idea as well. Or just even thinking about it, putting it out there, it gets out there. Here's a good example. If you tell somebody something, say you tell somebody, and they're well-meaning, they might not poo-poo it. It's like, "Oh, that's a great idea," right? And then what happens, they might mention it to somebody else that's in conversation. They say, "Oh, yeah, I know this person. He's working on this idea, right?" And then, then that person, the next person tells the next person, boom. So somewhere down the line, somebody get to hear the idea. It's like, "Hey, that's a great idea." And then they'll follow through on it. All of a sudden, you see the idea out there. It's just like, no. All right? Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself, right? Even now, when I'm working on projects, like if I'm working on a project, like I've told people I want to put together a bigger science fiction book. I actually have a science fiction book on the market, right? I actually have a science fiction book, but I want to expand on it or do a more full novel, right? But the thing is, I haven't told people what I'm gonna write about. It could be anything from a superhero type of thing to some military fiction or something. But I haven't told them. Most I've said is a science fiction thing. That's a broad category. And that's the most I will tell somebody. In fact, when I write it, usually with me, I work on a project, and then once it's out there, then I let people know. I mean, I did that with my website. I didn't tell people I was building that website. My website, I did not tell people. All right? Because I know how people are. And then it is a real idea. They either try to discourage you or somebody else does it, right? And even with ideas, I would say, depending on what it is, get it copywritten, get it trademarked. You want to show ownership of it, right? And then you don't want to give anybody any idea that you're working on it, right? Let it happen. And plus, too, I talked about people poo-pooing it, but you also got people who just going to straight hate on you. They're going to be like, who is he to think he's going to write a book? Who is he to think he can invent a better mousetrap? Which, ironically, people have invented better mousetraps. But who is this person? Seriously. And really, they projecting their own self-doubt onto you, right? And then there could also be jealousy. It was like, why he all talented? Like, they actually see your talent, but they're just like, no, I don't want to see them make it. Many people want to see you wallow with them. So they could even get to the point they'll try to sabotage anything that you're doing, right? So, just keep it quiet. Keep it quiet, right? Work on it. Plan on it. When necessary, sometimes you might have to ask some people some questions. Don't give them a full idea of the picture unless you absolutely have to. But you can finding if you're doing research or something, you can actually do a lot of research without having to actually talk to somebody, right? And then by the time, if you got to deal with somebody in the field, usually if you get to that point, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. Somebody in the field might be helpful, right? As long as they don't think you're competition. But you get information, whatever, and just getting information. Sometimes if you just ask a question, a lot of people volunteer information if you don't even have to tell them why you're asking. Many people who have expertise in something just like to talk about it. So keep that straight. But even then, never give an idea the full picture. And, usually I don't condone lying, but if you I'll just say, hide aspects of what you're working on, do that. Remember, this is money. Your idea, you might think it's small, but it can make money, right? Like, I remember somebody, he told me, now I'm not sure if he's behind it. It was like some type of invention for a car, right? Something to use in a car, I'll say that. And I remember he had the idea, and he actually had me sign something that I wouldn't disclose it, which is why I'm not telling you exactly what it is, because I'm going to honor that, even though I've seen the product out. I don't know if he's behind it or anything, and he's the type who would sue, even if it is out. So, but it was interesting. I saw it. I was like, oh, okay. And to be honest, I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. A very practical idea. And I actually saw it out somewhere. Now, he might be behind it. Like I said, when I saw it, I didn't really get a chance to really get into it, to really look at it, right? I didn't get a chance to check it out. So, but the whole thing is, don't tell people your plans, ideas, and plans. Just make it happen. Make it happen. Then you present them with the result. That way they can't stop it. And usually also too, that takes out a whole lot of stuff. And plus, they can't try to act like, oh, I told you that idea or something. No. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Keep rising and transforming.